are you? I'm doing pretty good. Not bad, you know. Um, Still battling the addiction, which is not fun because I'm realizing how much it actually is like taking a toll on my life. It makes me so happy, but also so sad, at the same time.
No matter what, like if you're working out, for example, you're going to the gym, people want to see results right away. And once they see results, it gives them more momentum to move forward. The problem is results in recovery are so diluted in everyday life, right? So you don't really see them. The only way you see them is if you journal every day and make note of your um, progress. There's only one way to see how you're doing, and that's measuring it. And one way to measure how your mental health is by journaling, right? And um, I suggest you journal to yourself. So, like, you would write in your journal, "Hey, William, how you doing today?" Well, today I feel really good and confident over this, but one thing bothered me today, and you talk to yourself like your own best friend.
True. I get that more. It's like, because I've been journaling, but just writing like random stuff. So I've been doing good and bad. Like I've been working out, but the thing that pins me down is like that initial like addiction, and I can see it now. Like the way, the things I ignore when I'm addicted to like weed and stuff, and then when I'm not addicted, I see like how much, like how sloppy I can be, or how like I don't care because like I'm so addicted, and I can't wait to smoke. Like nothing else matters but smoking, and it's like, but I'm really happy that I'm noticing it because like noticing it's like the first. I remember you guys saying like first kind of like step, but like actually noticing it. So I'm really
Yeah.
noticing it now, which is good.
Well, yeah, and if you're blind to it, then no change will be made, right?
Exactly. Like I was making excuses. Like me and my buddy will say like I'm just gonna smoke one bowl before bed because I smoke the bong. So it's like just one bowl before bed. But it never is like that, man. Like I can never just do one. Like I gotta keep doing it.
Yeah. And look, just like how you've developed that habit or that tendency to smoke that bong before bed, it's easily changed. Like it's no longer a tendency, it's no longer a habit because see, a habit is something you do without knowing, right? Now that you know what you're doing, it's no longer a habit. It's a conscious action that you're taking. We can't call it a habit or a tendency because you know what it is,
Yeah, true.
right? So, you know, first things first is define your problem with the right definitions of what it is, right?
Define your
Um,
problem on the right
what's really,
definitions. True.
yeah, with the right definition, right? So don't say, I, my problem is I smoke weed once in a while. No, how often do you smoke,
Yeah,
right? And define it and be like real about it. You know,
true.
you're only
That's what,
lying to yourself.
yeah, at the end of the day, and that's my problem with social media because I'll like try to be perfect or whatever, and like my way, like my image, like how I want to be seen or whatever. So it can be hard with like being real a lot of the time. But then like once I'm kind of like forced to be real because life's life, it's like, holy crap, like got a lot to work on.
Look, what you got going on is, you have this image that you gotta uphold in whatever it is that, the social media stuff and all that. I understand, but if you're going to be wearing a different mask for every event, you're going to get lost in all these masks. The only way to be real is to be true to yourself and then represent that online.
No, I didn't notice that. I've been talking to a therapist and he said the same thing. He's like, or she, sorry, it was my psychiatrist, but she was just kind of pinpointing like I would like kind of like since I was a kid, like have like it kind of sounds like crazy, but like different kind of like personalities to like fit different situations. So like if I was playing hockey, I'd pretend I'm like this person. Or if I was like in school, I was pretending I was this person. Because I didn't know how, or I was too scared to like be myself. So I always wanted to play like an act. And I was like, damn. So it makes sense in my life now. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. Like, it's that being yourself. Like, you can run away and try to like pick things from everywhere and like try to make this perfect puzzle or image that can get you by. But at the end of the day, you're still like yourself. So you're living within yourself, um, which
Yeah,
has
but
been
you need to understand what is it you want. Um, like, what makes William happy, right?
I know you're
Forget
right.
about everybody else, right? Let's think about what makes William happy, right?
I've been realizing
So,
that because like a couple like things have happened in my life, like little like scares and here and there, whatever. And then when I get really deep of it, it's like the only thing that actually matters at the end of the day is not even like fame, money, being like proud. It's none of that. It's more just like I think just like being happy or like or just living in your moment, like what you want to do every day. And that's like a tough place to get to, but like sometimes it takes like tough times, I think, to get you to those places because sometimes I'm like, I don't think I ever would have figured some of the things I've been figuring out recently if it wasn't for like all these times I've been going through,
look, William, I'm still figuring things out, man, and I'm 50 years old.
Sure.
I feel older, but every day I'm still learning more things, especially about myself. And I'm willing to take a look in the mirror and go, you know what, Frank? This part I'm not quite happy with. I want to improve this part of my life, but how? What? Where do I see myself? So I can mold me into the way I want to be by, um, I guess, envisioning what I want to be. There's no set destiny of what
True.
William is going to be. The only destiny is your hands to mold the way you want to be, of who
That's
you want to
true.
be,
And
right?
it's, yeah, exactly. In the end of the day, like, you have to be like that. Like,
Yeah.
you can't
Like,
like,
for example, at the center, right? A lot of times people think that I'm this mean person behind the in the office who, is doesn't care about, I don't know, whatever images they portray. But now what I've been doing is I've been doing one or two groups a week so that people can get to know me, right?
nice.
So that they know who I really am and what I'm about.
Yeah, that's what I want
Because
to ask you later on because I want to know like who you actually are as a person, like why you started like all of this because I realize like there's a deeper meaning to like things now that I get older. Like it's crazy. Like some of the people that you wouldn't even really look up to, like or you would look up to, sort of like Justin Bieber. You look like I've been looking up to people that aren't as successful or like in the public because of like how deep their actual story is and like what they've done and like what they had to do and like just real life. So I was interested in like if you ever had addiction or if you had family maybe with addiction
have I?
or yeah, if you like to
Oh,
share.
yeah. Look, let's put it this way. Before I got clean and sober, when somebody's house got broken into, family wise, and I won't even be in the country, and they would blame me. you know, they would think it was me.
Cool.
Um,
So you were like a bad like
I was,
not
yeah, I was, I was a terrible person. Um, I, I
did you
was in
notice
treatment the
it
first.
or did you in that time were you just like telling yourself you're a good person and you're just or do you notice it?
Oh,
Or
oh no, I not that I had noticed it. I didn't care.
yeah,
I was so diluted by substance, um, especially as the substance became heavier and heavier. I really didn't care. I was selfish. Um, and, it's a long story of how I got to where I am. But I was in treatment the first time, my friend. I was 15 years old.
oh wow, 15,
Uh,
wow,
so I've
and
been around the recovery
oh,
industry, recovery everything, and with psychiatrists and psychologists and all that since I was 8, actually, since my parents divorced, right? Um, and it's always been, I've always been the black sheep. And what a big change it is now, where I'm running this.
you were the,
Uh,
did you say you were the
mhm,
black sheep of the family?
yeah, I was always the black sheep.
Really?
Yeah, but I was the scapegoat for everybody's problems too, right? Now, mind you, I caused a lot of problems.
Wait, what is the
I
scapegoat? What does the scapegoat mean for
Scapegoat
everyone's
is when
problems?
there's problems in a family or in a household or anywhere at work.
Yeah.
You are the reason. I'm the reason. Like no matter what. Yes, I had an
Oh,
addiction, right? So
yeah,
they blame me for everything, right? And I blame myself, but I would blame my addiction for it, or I would blame everybody for my problems, right? Um,
yeah.
and it started with weed. Honestly, it started with weed,
I just like
and
for you, like, how do you get to a point where like you're ready to quit? Because for me, like right now, I'm ready to quit, but I'm not ready to like quit like like it's not like I'm just like ready to be like, you know what, I'm dropping cigarettes, everything, anything that's like a sort of addiction. But I am way more committed right now to being like, you know what, tomorrow I'm gonna actually have a full day with just like doing my stuff, like even if it's hard, like enjoy the hard times, like because I feel like that's a big part too, like enjoying the hard times. Because like, why would we want to miss our life? Like our life's beautiful. Like it's only one life. Like we only have one life, right? Like, and addiction
well,
makes you miss it. You know,
it does. But ask yourself if you continue down the same path,
where are you gonna see
right? And
yourself?
you keep doing, where are you going to be 5 years from now, right?
Okay, good. I like the 5 year rule because 1 year is like not enough. Like in 1 year, I don't
Oh
think I'm
no.
gonna be, you know,
Do you
I
remember
can,
the show or the movie, The Christmas Carol with Scrooge? The Ghost of Christmas Past, Christmas Present.
no,
Um, so you never heard of that story?
no, no, no,
Oh
not that
boy.
one. Uh,
Okay. So like what you got to do is basically envision in your mind what will happen. First, actually take a look at your life now. Look at
sure.
what's going on in your life. What's good, what's bad, and be objectively um,
Aware?
conscious, aware of everything that's going on. All the good, all the bad. Some of the bad is actually good because you know, in reality, we don't make changes in our life until shit hits the fan,
So true. Like,
right?
bro,
When
I
you're
had
doing
this,
well,
yeah,
when you're doing well, do you ever say, you know what, I'm doing really good. I got to change something? No.
and like, I feel like sometimes we can say like it's like we think, or like maybe it is, like maybe you made a mistake that like could be like life, like ending. Maybe you accidentally did a needle that is you're now gonna like die or something. Like maybe there's something like that's just whatever, like,
Yeah.
but like at least we're here like right this second, like together, like I feel like that. But then if I live so much in the moment, then I'm gonna say, okay, if I'm living fully in the moment and tomorrow's not promised, then I'm just gonna go smoke. my face off, or I'm gonna go party like it's 1969. And I'm trying to find that like, but you can't find love in yourself if you keep just living every night like it's your last, I feel like, because that's not like a loving life, like a long, like loving life. So I don't know. I've been having a hard time. I think I just need to let go of some things and not think too hard and, live. I've just always wanted to like be better than my next door neighbor. So I could, I was always just trying to be the best in the world in quotations or this, that, instead of just living. I admire people that just live,
Yeah,
like
but
we're,
William, who are you comparing yourself to?
I know I was comparing myself to everyone, but I honestly,
Do they know they're in a race with you?
no, because I'm not even
Everyone know
like,
they're in a race with you?
no, they don't.
Then, then it's not really fair. It's not a good race then because they're not aware of the race, right? So maybe if you let everybody know that you're racing them and you're trying to compete with them, then you might have a chance.
Oh,
Okay?
true.
Stop
That's
competing with
fair.
those people. Seriously.
Thanks, bro. I needed to hear that, honestly, because that's been really hard for me. I compete with everyone and anyone, and it's all because of my own insecurities, though. Like, I'm trying to
Yeah.
save myself in a way, or like, whatever. Like, just say someone calls me a name, I take that and I'll be like, yo, like, why would he say that? Like, I need to defend myself. I need to be better than him. I need to be this. I need to be that. But then it's just doing yourself
I
harm.
think I think William, you want everybody to like you.
I know I want everyone to like me because I think like life's just so lonely as it is. So it's like, in the end of the day, it's like so sad. So it's like, I just want like a lot of like, I don't want to be lonely. Like, I want a bunch of people around me and stuff. So
Yeah,
that's
but
why I
that's
want
your
people.
insecurity.
I know, Frank. I
But
guess that
if you want everybody to like you, right? Do you like everybody in the world? Have you ever come across somebody you don't like?
no. Um,
No?
yeah, I have. No, I have.
Yeah. Right. So trying to please everybody despite feeling good about yourself is such a burden to bring upon yourself. It's impossible to please everybody
True.
and to have everybody like you. You're going to do things that people aren't going to like. So
Okay.
whether that means staying clean and sober, some people aren't going to like that. You know why? Because now they lost the William that they used to party with, or all that great stuff, or when William's high, we could take advantage of him. Those are the
Yeah.
people that are going to not like you being high.
Yeah.
It comes down to, does William like William when he's high?
Yeah. Um, yeah, exactly. It's like,
How do you get bored of something?
do it a lot.
You do it over and over and over again. What do you think
Yeah.
smoking weed is? Right? Don't you get bored of that eventually?
Yeah, I'm bored of it. And it's just moving on to the next thing. Like it's moving on to let's do some like alcohol. Then it's like porn and then it's like stressing. Start getting addicted to even just stressing.
Yeah,
And
it could turn to harder drugs.
harder drugs. It's just crazy. Like if you knew that you like this is thinking deep, but if you knew that you had cancer, let's say, and you're gonna pass away in like a month, how would you live your life? Would you live happy or would you live sad? That's what I'm trying to like figure out. Because like,
So
how do you
let me ask
just
you this: stop asking questions that are supposedly come out with a negative answer. Why don't you ask yourself this: if there was no such thing as failure, what would you do?
damn? That's a good question because if there was no such thing as failure. I don't think life would be like life. Like there's no such thing as like not um messing up.
Okay, but imagine there's no way you can fail. What would you
Exactly.
attempt?
Everything.
Everything. So let's redefine failure.
True. I don't think if someone like sometimes you gotta break a leg instead of just cutting yourself in a little sliver. Like sometimes it takes like something that's like, damn, that one like really changed me, I guess. But it sucks to
Yeah.
think that sometimes hard times have to like be the changer because it's like, damn, man, like why couldn't it just be a little lighter, you know? So,
If it was
um,
easy, bro, everybody would do it.
true, if it was
Okay?
easy,
You
everyone
played hockey, right? You
yeah,
played hockey, right? You ever hear your coach saying you have to learn how to lose to win?
yeah.
And it doesn't make sense, does it? But it really does, right?
Oh,
You have
that's
to
so
lose
true. You have to
so
lose
much.
to win
Yeah.
because
You have to
losing almost
understand
like,
what losing's about.
yeah. And that's when like God comes in play because I feel like the more you lose and stuff, the more or the more you're grounded and lose, the more like you start having like a higher belief. Like it's like, yo, God, show me something. The wind starts blowing, and it's like, damn, like that feel. Then you start feeling like. But anyway, that's a different topic. But that's the end all be all. I feel like to have like a full secure life is know what happens after life. Like I'm trying to figure out what happens after because.
Why try to figure that out? You'll never will. It's been going on for years. You're gonna just boggle your mind. Why don't you try making William happy? How old is William?
But do I deserve that? That's what, or I say like, do I deserve it? Because that's a big question in rehab. Like, well, but the only reason why I'm saying that is because, yeah, like, or even if I do deserve it, I'm not more special or I'm not special because I'm just a human. So we're all the same people. So it's just kind of like very simple.
How
Like,
old are you, man?
I'm 24.
24. Holy shit, you're so young.
Yeah.
Sorry. So the average person lives about 80 years old. Okay?
Yeah.
So you had about 76 more years to go.
Yeah.
56, sorry.
And I hope that
Um,
because like you never know. Like the only reason why I say never know is you
you
never
never
know
know.
because yeah, and like yeah, like you just get scared. Like dude, my family's all family had like cancer and stuff. Like so, it's all my family. So it's just like that's why I get
Yeah,
scared. Like I don't look at age as like a thing because it's like I've seen 21
but
year
can you
olds.
imagine living the next 50 years the same way you're living now?
For some reason, the addiction maybe makes me want to live every day the same way I'm living now. Like I don't want to leave my house. Like I don't want to leave. Like I literally just want to have a blanket over me and hide for the rest of my life. But then I don't because then I'm wasting my life. Um, it's like that sucks because whenever I go on a vacation or model, and it's the reason I didn't do any modeling in New York. There's like other reasons, like there's always a bunch of reasons, but like one of the big reasons was because of my addiction. Because every time I leave the house, I get so cold, and I just want to be back in my safe spot. And it does suck because there's me. I just wish I had like more of a fun life from like 18 to like now because I didn't go to university. I didn't really party. Like, I didn't do that much because I was so addicted and focused on my goals at the same time. So I'm just like fighting the whole time. Um, so sometimes I wish I just could live like that for a long time, like the same way, but at the same time I don't. Because the unknown is so scary. Like the unknown is so scary, like not
But
knowing what's next.
the unknown is beautiful. Exactly. You gotta.
almost like embrace the unknown in a way, you know? Um,
True.
like, you know, growing up myself, I always thought of the future and just kind of, I'm sure every person at some time is like, oh, I wonder if I'll ever get married. I wonder if I'll have kids. I wonder if I already know my wife, right? These things are the unknown, but they're good unknowns. So you got to almost like use all your energy that you got into things that it's okay to not to wonder about the unknown, but um, it's almost
True.
like I can't let it. I can't make it happen. I just gotta let it happen naturally. I'm gonna meet somebody one day, right? And which happened,
I just always
but
think like, what if it doesn't happen?
if it
What if
doesn't,
it
then
doesn't?
well, that's not knowing. That's like the thought in your head, in my head when I was your age, going, I'm 26 or 25, and I just saw my younger cousin get married, and I'm like, whoa, am I ever gonna get married? Or am I like that's like, do I have a serious girlfriend? Do I even want to get married? You know what I mean? These are all questions that you will figure out, and there's time. I'll be honest. I got married when I was 32. All right. Um,
That's not.
even that was a great time to get for me to get married, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I could have used a couple more years,
Oh, nice.
you know, myself.
I got married at like 36, and now I'm going through a divorce. So it wasn't all it cracked up to be, right?
And
So
is
I'm
that
happier now than I ever was.
is that divorce like life ending for you, or is it more like
No, at
no?
first I was like, "Oh man, look at me!
Gee,
I'm just like my dad, right? Divorced, kid going back and forth, my son and all that." But I've embraced it. I look at it like this is great. I have my son with me now, Monday to Friday. And then Friday, I call it return day, where I return him to his mom for the weekend. And I got my freedom and I can go do what I want to do. And I can go have fun and enjoy myself. Right. But, um, and then, sometimes she wouldn't take him. So I would feel like I was trapped and I couldn't do anything. So what I did is I got myself a babysitter. So I'm not controlled by her anymore, right? So as it stands now, I'm at the happiest point in my life. And just today, I'm driving to go get a haircut, and I was thinking to myself, and I recognize the voice because it's mine, right? And I was talking to myself, and I'm reminding myself of a time like when I was like 17 years old, somewhere in that range, where I had no money, no food. I was going to a food bank to get food,
No
and
way.
you know, yeah, struggling really bad, right? And where I am now, and I just smiled, going, we can't look at the future as this burden that's coming that we don't know what's going to happen, but we can look at the past and see how much we've grown and what a big change we've made in our lives. Because I can guarantee you, you're not the same person you were when you were 12,
True.
right?
Yeah.
So the only thing you have is to look back at the past and see where you've made changes. Like I bet you know how to tie your shoes really well right now. And at one point in your life, you had no idea how.
True.
So moving forward, when you're looking at your future, don't look at it as, oh, I've never done this before. I don't know if I could do this. How am I supposed to do this? Da, 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 and talk yourself out of stuff, right?
Mhm.
What you should do is look at it like, hey, this is something new. It's an opportunity to learn from it. Or, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way I see life, right?
Yeah, I think like you're so right, man. Like this makes me want to go more towards like God and stuff, just because like I've been through like so much, I feel like, but like so have other people, so I don't want to like compare, but like I've been through so much that now I'm at a point where I just need like something to like I don't know, I just really want to like enjoy life again, feel good. And I know it's there, like I have a good future, like it looks like it, right? Like social media is doing well. things are doing well. There's things behind the scenes that I haven't like kind of brought forward that has happened in my life, which is a little like hurtful. And like I want to find my meaning and I want to like be so happy that even if I'm like the worst happens, that I'm secure. Like I want to feel secure, you know? Like I want to feel like really like secure, like I'm happy. So that's what I'm really working for. But I guess first step is like with the addiction and stuff too, right? Because it's like,
Yeah, but searching for meaning isn't something that you're just going to discover. It's not going to be slapped in your face.
oh
Your
wow,
meaning in your life will come to you through the journey that you go through. Okay?
that's
Yeah.
deep.
And the experience, like I've always said, I don't know if you heard me, experience is the currency of life. And all your experience through your life, that's the currency at the end of your life when you go, wow. It's not how many cars you have in the driveway or how big your house is or how much money you have in the bank that really matters. It's the experiences that you've been through and
Yeah.
the lack of regret that you didn't do.
But then I feel like I'm
That's what
always
comes.
gonna, I feel like even if I have, nah, it's not true though. Because when you really feel good, like about your life, like even if you have an apartment, but you got a good girlfriend, you got good food, you feel good, like you just feel happy. Like your life's better than a rich person that's like buying like prostitutes and doesn't know what to do with his like. It's just like, so it just shows like that meaning is what I'm looking for. And I guess I'm looking for it now with like a girl,
It will
hormones.
come.
Yeah, so it's kind of
But
like that.
how do you want a girl to like you or someone to like you if you don't even know you?
Dude, I know it's so freaking true. I realized that today because we were talking to my uncle. I was so nervous for this podcast. Like I always am for like podcasts, but like I was like, holy crap. And like I smoked this morning at like 5 a.m. and then I smoked again at like 10 a.m. I was just like I just want to smoke before the podcast and then take a little nap and then like work out and then like feel good. So that's like kind of like how I go. And then after this, I'll probably smoke again because it feels like my mom's dying just because I'm quitting. Like I want to quit marijuana. Like it feels like it's such a big deal when it's literally not. But it like for me, it is because of how it makes me feel. Like if I didn't have certain substances, sometimes it'd be like a little harder. But it's always when I start because like if I didn't smoke all day or anything, but no, nighttime hits and then I'm like, okay, this is getting hard. And then I gotta find something greater that like beats that addiction that can keep me pushing forward. But then I start thinking about like past experiences and like PTSD and all this like stuff and then the future. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, bro, you literally get to the point where you like, you could say, I just want to like, but it's not that serious, but like, just want to like, I just don't know how to live. Like, I'm like, frick, right? Um,
Well, one of the main reasons people find it hard to quit smoking pot or any drugs or any alcohol or anything, right? Is because they perceive a negative. Because look, if I'm telling you to quit smoking marijuana, you feel like somebody is taking something away from you. You're losing something. Am I right?
peace, I think. Like, I think I'm losing peace because facing reality is like, what did I do for 6 years? Wasting my life, making mistakes, people taking advantage of me. You know, I, I won't get into that, but lost a lot of like things and stuff. And it's just like, holy crap, bro. It makes you want to just freaking like die in that moment. You're just like, man, this sucks. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna like feel good. The thing that I'm proud of myself though is like there's like so many things in life that can make you feel good. Like even if it's just journaling, it makes me feel happy. Like even if I'm in the worst spot of my life, it makes me feel happy. Maybe not the worst. I haven't been in the worst spot, knock on wood, but like there's something that can make you feel happy. So it's just I guess finding those things that make you happy.
But if you take away something, you're left with a void, right? So if you took marijuana out of your life, you need to replace it with something because is serving a purpose. Everything we do for a positive intent, right? So
What is that
first you have to
purpose though?
understand, well, what's
I'm tr
it? What are you getting? Let's find out. What are you getting from marijuana?
um from marijuana,
Yeah,
I
what are you
get
getting from smoking up? What are you getting?
Changes your feelings.
a fake reality, like it's kind of fogged, like smoked, like a fake, like like a feeling, like it's a feeling of like I smoke and I'm like, okay, now I can die. That's the word I want to use. It's basically now I can just not focus on life. Now I can just now I can like sulk in my sorrows and just be like dead and
So,
feel okay.
hey, so it's kind of like sounds like William. When you smoke, it's almost like a day off away from everybody. You
Yeah,
decided that okay, I smoked. I'm feeling this way, and I'm just gonna turn off my phone and not do what I usually do for this day. And it becomes harder to not smoke and get your day going. But then if you do, you end up in that situation, right? Is that kind of what's going on?
yeah, exactly, dude, exactly. Like it's like two personalities and like they're fighting each other. The
Yeah.
addict is, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to move like
Patient.
my normal personality into like the addict personality, but like you can't mix them. Like it's either one, I think, or the other. Like I can't be like sometimes smoke weed and then like sometimes not. Like I
Hmm.
don't think, but like I guess you can get to a point where like you could be like, you know what, I'm gonna smoke weed on the weekend a little bit, with some buddies, like we're watching football. And now, like during the week, I don't even think of weed. Like, I guess it's just that addiction that you're trying to fight, like that. Oh, I need it so bad, like that feeling, because that feeling is so real. Like, I can't believe the withdrawals. I'll be in the airport and I'll just be like cold sweats, being like, I can't wait to get home in my bed with my bong and feel at home. And yes, it's nice, but it's also like, damn, like I can't enjoy some of the things that I really want. Like I want a girlfriend that I can like take care of and like go for dinners and whatever. I want to be a model. I want to do all this social media stuff. I want to do it all, but the addiction is like definitely holding that back. Like I guess it is possible. Like you get through it. Like look at me. I smoke today and I'm still talking. I'm still doing my stuff. You know, I'm always pushing through, but
Been doing the YouTube videos and TikTok and stuff. How many years has it been?
it's been 3 years.
3 years. So if I asked you, hey man, do you think you can be a TikTok influencer? 5 years ago, if I asked you that, do you think you would have been, yes, I can do it? Or like, I don't know, I've never tried it. Or would you have that temptation to try it? Or would you be more, uh, not really because your motivation's killed because you smoking pot? Or what I'm trying to get to is 5 years
I
ago, you didn't see yourself doing what you are. And look how far you've come, right?
That's true.
So,
Like,
like,
but like I always thought that I'd be in like the NHL, so like I beat myself up for that because like but I say always because that was the main thing, but while I was playing hockey, I was still like doing the modeling and the TikTok and I was still trying to like work that in. So I still had that vision a little more than hockey, but I like to say hockey because it makes me feel just kind of like everyone else because everyone else loves hockey, especially in Canada and stuff. But it's like
mhm.
but I was always pushing that modeling. And no, I did not. I had like a weird belief, like even to this day, I have these weird beliefs that are like really like big. But then I'm like, is that real? But I've always thought that, but always pushed towards it. And then like I've made dreams become like a reality. And so like it's given me that more confidence to make these new dreams become a reality. But the new dreams aren't like, let's get a nice car or like it's like whatever. Now it's like so deep where it's like too deep, like to the point where it's like I want to cure like freaking every disease in the whole entire world just because I want to like figure everything out. So it's like you're losing my mind in that way a bit because that's what I was talking to Frank about death and stuff because I'm like, frick man, just losing it. Like I'm like I want to figure everything out. I want things to be perfect. I want things to be settled, but it's just not that way. But most importantly, if you had to ask me what I actually want, I think it is just to not be an addict and go have a nice date with a girl right now and actually be myself and go see my family and be myself and not think about going home and smoking when I'm at a family event and then
Mhm.
coming home, doing my job, coming on this podcast, not thinking about smoking after drinking or none of that, just doing the podcast, like feeling that like proud, but that's a hard level to get to. It feels like sometimes it's
Yeah,
like,
but
damn,
William, I was going down a path of, okay, you smoke weed, it makes you feel numb, and it gives you an escape. Okay, right? It gives you an opportunity to ignore what's going on. Am I right?
yeah.
The feeling you get from smoking pot. What are the good feelings you get?
So I feel numb, like you said.
Yeah.
I feel more um, like not serious. Like I like to be like stupid, or not sounding nice
Yeah.
words. We'll cut
Silly.
that out.
You
But
get to feel
silly.
silly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like to feel silly. Just things that aren't like real life because real life it's so real that it's like it's not even as real as we even know. Like
So
it's still
if you're gonna take that marijuana out of your life, you're going to still need to feel silly. You're still going to need to feel a chance to zone out. You're still going to have those needs, right? Now we just got to find a different vehicle to get to those needs. So, how do you get to feel silly? What can you do
wow.
that could fulfill that need of feeling silly without marijuana? You think
That's
you're
so
not
true.
funny without marijuana?
No, I am. I guess it just gets more serious. Like it doesn't put a pause on my life. Like I want to put a pause on my life. I don't like to think like I have something to do tomorrow. I did good today. Okay, let's move on. I don't like that pressure. I just want to be, I guess, when you're young, you're just freaking doing whatever you want, bro. Like you're just your food's cut up for you, everything's perfect. And then you get older and you're like, I gotta do everything myself now. Like it's not like you have to. Like I'm so blessed to have so many people helping me. It's actually ridiculous. Like I'm not even kidding. Like it's actually like astonishing. Like I don't know how there's some people in this world that are like alone and stuff. Like I guess you gotta do, but it's like I'm very like I just don't use the word lucky. So like luckily because like am I
You're
lucky?
blessed.
I still go through things though, but I'm blessed. Like I am. Like if you really just be real with it, like you're blessed to have people like because like life can be harder. So I want to be so
Yeah,
grateful for that, but then as I'm grateful for that, I don't want to make people jealous at the same time because then that's just unfair because that's not real. Like
no,
why would
you're
anyone?
not bragging. That's what I'm saying. You're not comparing to others, right? You realize that you're blessed within yourself. You don't have to go preach it to everybody how blessed you are. You just got to know it
What
yourself.
what
However,
makes you like fulfilled? Like what makes you happy? Like proud? What makes like Frank proud? Like
what makes me proud,
yeah.
honestly, when I look back of where I came from and where I am today, I feel a sense of pride. I feel a sense of not survival, of conquering, right?
Oh, that's so cool, dude. That's like a movie. It's like a kingdom movie. Because it's true though, bro. It's like I can just like I don't know your whole story, but I just know that you've like run through it and like I can just see how like kind of comfortable sitting you kind of are in the way of just like obviously you still go through like every human like have to do it, but you're just more like I guess grateful. I think grateful is the word. I think grateful is the word. I think that's what we're all kind of pushing for, you know?
I've gotten to a point where I feel comfortable with my personality, with a lot of things in my life. I'm not comfortable with my physical image. So what did I do? I finally started going to the gym. Finally. And I've been doing it consistently. And after a month, I'm proud that I've been still doing it. And if my brother wasn't here helping me, pushing me, I probably wouldn't get done. So it's good to have that person in the corner pushing you, right? And I push him sometimes, right? So now we're both going regularly, right? And it feels good because that's another aspect of my life that I can go, check, I'm working on that, right? And so I break my life up into different categories. And there are certain areas that I want to get checked. And then there's the financial part. I still got to work on that, right? Check. I got to work on that. But at least I know what I have to work on.
So like you're
There's
always like you always have to grow, right? Like 100%, like even in your position right now, like you have like you're not like comfortable. Or because I feel like you're comfortable. Like I feel like your life's perfect. Like you have it set out now. You're older. Like you went through your trials and tribulations, and now like you're in a spot where you got your brother. Like so, I feel like. But then I also feel like, but then you still have to worry about like some health, like you said, your weight and like other things that just can come out of the blue. So you're never really
yeah,
fully comfortable, You're still like you're always trying to like look and grow, I guess, but you feel more
life
comfortable.
life is always going to have problems. Life is hard, right? And it's going to have challenges, okay? And that's why, like, when you're in the hospital and they got you hooked up to the monitor, the thing goes beep, beep, beep. It goes up and down. Well, that's life. It goes up, it goes down. It goes up, it goes down. And if it's flat, like a flat line, that's not a good sign, man. That means you're complacent and your life is not growing and there's
Thanks,
no
bro.
trials and tribulations, right? So we always need more challenges in life, right? And then if there aren't any and everything's being handed to you, then it becomes, I guess, complacent. Then you become like, okay, what's next now? And you become bored, right? Um, you
I know
need to
that's
live a
why
life.
it is
Go
fun to,
ahead.
I guess, like live on the edge and like try, like ask yourself like why more. Like you can ask yourself so many questions and like figure stuff out. Like your brain is so much smarter than we think. Like we can figure things
It
out,
is.
like we can, right? Like we can learn and like grow and like, so it's like, I guess just let yourself be yourself and like let yourself do it. It just, the
You got to
biggest
ask
scare.
yourself the right questions.
I'm just trying to think like what I'm actually scared of, or maybe I should stop trying to figure out what I'm scared of and just figure out what makes me happy, maybe. Because I'm always trying to figure out what am I scared of? Is it death? Is it not having a fulfilling life? Is it a mix of both? Is it just maybe everything? Are these just feelings? Are they thought? Like, what is this? How do I get over it? I don't think you can ever get over it because,
You can't.
right?
It's knowing, it's not knowing the unknown, right? It's like when you came into our facility, um, or other people, they tend to not know where they're going, so they're scared, right? I always suggest doing a tour. So when somebody comes in for a tour, so at least they get a sense of where they're going, because that will ease their anxiety. And it's the same thing of not knowing the future, right? We're always constantly trying to figure out, am I switching jobs? Am I going to be, she going to call me for a second date? Or am I going to get a modeling gig? Or whatever the case is, right? We're always thinking about something we cannot control,
True.
right? Uh, and the only way we could control it is if we manifest it in a sense of a way. If it's something that you want, I believe in manifesting it. Think about it, write it down, journal about it,
because if we don't know what tomorrow holds, we don't know what when we die holds. So it's like, why even worry about what happens when you die when it's like you don't even know what like the next moment. It's like we're not here to like know everything. We're just here to like from our experience like teach and like learn through like
Hmm.
what, right? So that's actually like a beautiful part. You right?
Oh, I agree. We don't know when we're gonna go. We
Oh,
don't know when our family members are gonna go or friends, right? And that's why we gotta live life in a sense of okay, time is the most important thing and the most valuable thing on this planet, right?
I think like you guys have the best job. Like when I think about it, like health. Yeah, I know. Healthcare can like just healthcare. Like I say that in like general because like doctors and stuff would be like super like hard because it's just like whatever it is. But I don't know. I love helping people, bro, because it takes away from like everything else and then it gives you like a better perspective though, most importantly. Like you see from like a different perspective and you're like, yo, like I can see what this person's doing. I want to help. And I love that and I feel like I want to do stuff like that. And it's cool that I can say that because back then, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I would say I'd be okay with being the hottest model. Just looking, and I probably still would be okay with that. Let's be honest. Like, it'd be amazing to be like this top model, whatever. But I look at it different than I used to look at it. Like, I used to look at it as like, I don't even know, just that fantasy of just being this hot guy that gets anything he wants. And now I'm looking at life just different. And it's like weird, but it's also like, damn. I thought I was the smartest in the room, but there's actually smarter people in the room. It doesn't even mean smarter in like a competition. It's just like everyone has their own like skills. Like we're all here in life that's like super hard. Like life's like so hard automatically. But we all have different perspectives. Like Will was born with his looks. He has like whatever. He was kind of like the good looking guy and had that attention. This person had this kind of attention. This person had this kind of attention. And they worked with like the attention that they got. And it's like so it's so much like deeper and like it's cooler and so much more meaningful. So I am happy that life's like that actually because yeah,
so two things, Will. Um, no matter what, you're going to have fear in life, and the best remedy for fear is courage, right? It's okay to be fearful of what is coming towards you, but you need to have the courage to face it. And how do you get courage? Is through building confidence with slow increments, okay?
that's why I thought like I know this is like deep, but like even with like I feel like there's a way. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Just with the like kind of like not giving up factor, like just having that like not giving up, like just yeah, like figuring it out, like figuring out what you have to do to like better yourself and like put the courage like you said like pushing through that is like huge it just can be so like is this actually a thing because society's saying that it's not or this person saying this or like this happened this but in the end of the day we just have to believe in ourselves because like that's the only person that we can believe is like us, we'll get into with Adam. He can kind of tell his story and stuff, and we'll go from there. I've looked up to you,
Thank
Adam, a lot within the way like you went up in front of everyone and like talked to them in the rehab. Like you did all of that. I was wanting to do that, but you did that. Um, what's your experience now with everything? How are you doing on your sobriety and like tell everyone like how you've been feeling and stuff? Um, Frank and Chris like really respect you, which I can see. So this is really cool podcast. But yeah, you can tell that how you feel.
yeah, thanks, bro. Um, yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. Telling my story Definitely wasn't easy, but it was something I needed to do. Just so that, if one person could relate, that made me feel good. That made me feel like I did my job, and it just felt good to just let it out. Then yeah, after I was almost, I would say, how long has it been now? Almost 2 years. But a couple months ago, I had something happened in my life, and I was, I went back. I took a step back. I was low, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go get a joint." Um, which some people may not find bad, but after I smoked that joint, I cried. I felt so good in that moment because I was like, "Oh my god," like, you know what I mean? But then after I cried because I feel like I let myself down. I let everyone down. But then I remembered one of my counselors telling me that that's okay. It's okay for that to happen. But I think I was too harsh on myself. What I realized, but I think looking back, everyone handles everything differently. Whether it's a substance, whether it's anything in life, we all handle it differently. And I think I've been smoking now for about a month. Not like in the morning I wake up. I'm not like that. I'll get my shit done, through the week. And like, for example, Friday night on the weekend, I'll smoke a joint. I'll enjoy it more. But I realized what really got me there was doing nothing. Sitting in my room all day, smoking, playing games, just literally not doing anything. Not working out. But I told myself coming here that I need to actually get my shit together. So with this new job, I'm loving it. I wake up every day. I go to work. I love the people I work with. I think that's a huge thing when it comes to your job. I've had so many jobs in my life, and I've hated all of them because I didn't enjoy with the people I worked with. But yeah, I'm back to smoking. I think I definitely learned a lot in that year and a half. I learned how to handle it a lot more. I learned how to not cave into it. You know what I mean? And yeah, I would say I'm doing better than I have, and I'm going what I think is the right way. But my recovery it's been good. I wouldn't say obviously I'm recovered now because I'm back to smoking. But do I do it every day? No. Do I do it once in a while? Sure. Do I think it's okay to do it every day? No. I think if you do anything, every single day, it's an addiction. Whether it's working out, reading, it's an addiction. I think if you can use it, once in a blue moon, it's not going to do too much. You'll enjoy it more, but you got to have that self-control. And I think a lot of people get lost once they start, using substances and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
It's important to like the people you work with. I had a problem with that in all my jobs. So now, owning my own company, I get to choose who works with me, and I like them all, most of them. And by the way, the pool table that you got us donated to us, it gets lots of use, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah.
Of course. And that's like the least we could have done for
Yeah,
what
literally.
you guys have done for us. And I mean that in like
and
you
still
know,
are. Like coming to this
yeah,
podcast and stuff, like this is like unreal. So, like, swear,
100%,
unreal, unreal.
100%. And, I think just being there, for 30 days and I remember walking in and I'm like, this is going to be hell. Like, this is going to be like I want to walk out. You know what I mean? I remember looking at Will and I'm like, bro, like what are we doing? And
No phone, no
after
weed.
it, yeah, after when we were leaving, I didn't want to leave. I felt so comfortable. I felt,
I
you
know
guys made it so amazing, and this everyone there was just, you know,
you did
from the clients.
amazing, bro.
Yeah, it was just an experience that I'll remember forever. You know what I mean? Because it's it hit my life very hard in a very special way. So thank you.
No.
But I'm not trying to like bring you down because like I'm relapsed. But like since you relapsed, do you feel like bad because of that, or are you more just like good about it? Because like I look at you like you're doing really good. Like I look at you as like, damn, like you moved to Ottawa, like you're doing really good things for yourself. But like I just want to know how you feel, Adam. Like,
Yeah.
do you feel like
Uh,
okay? Like, um, I think you do though. But it's just I'm just so proud of you because bro, you were over a year no smoking. That was way more than me. And then you relapsed a bit, not much, but like you were smoking here and there. I just want to know what you like, are- and are you on the right direction, do you think? And what do you think about that?
um, yeah, I mean, thank you, bro. I appreciate the kind words. Uh, I think though I am definitely on a better path. Um, because I think my biggest problem was I was always prioritizing weed over everything in my life, overeating, oversleeping, overworking, you know what I mean? And it was taking over my life. But now I'm prioritizing my health, my future. I'm working not for myself now, but for myself in 10 to 15 years. And I think that's that's my main goal. Obviously, how I'm gonna have fun here and there, but I can't think of the long term goal. So I think I'm definitely prioritizing my work, working out, spending time with family, going to my grandparents, going to just see friends, right? Um, Going to see my cousins and stuff. But it
Oh, that's cool.
it
That's beautiful.
makes it like weed is like the last thing. You know what I mean? So it's like once I'm done all that and the week's done, I'm gonna chill out. My dad has a cigar in the back. I'll have a joint. That's how I look at it, right? That's the way I look at it now. But I'm not craving it in the morning. You know what I mean? I could care less for it. Does that make sense?
Look, not everybody who has a drink is an alcoholic.
Exactly.
Okay. And if you are smoking and there's no consequences and there's no repercussions and nothing going wrong and it's not taking over your life, I'm not against it. And I'm not judging you for it either, right? Like I'm saying,
Yeah,
it, until it becomes a problem, then it's a problem. Until
yeah,
then, everybody can, mind their own business.
yeah, exactly. True. That's true though. Yeah, it's like depending on how much it's like dictating your life too, and like how much like how much it's like kind of doing damage or whatever. Because that addiction's like not just like weed or cocaine or like it's just like an initial like thought of like my life's not good. I need to like be addicted to like whatever I'm doing right now because it makes me feel some type of way. And then like you just keep doing it. You're like, yeah, yeah, this is, and then it's like your own little bubble. And then you're like, oh, and then before you know it, you're like homeless or whatever it is. And you're like, oh my God. Um, so it can get hard, but like I don't know, like I said, like me having support around me has been like super helpful. Like having my uncle, my aunt, my family, like just supporting me. But then, like I said, at the end of the day, it's just you and your goals, you and your stuff. So it's like you gotta kind of like figure out. Like if I was living alone, would I just be smoking weed all day and not going to work? That's the question. Or, you know, um,
You know,
because
William, Adam was able to get to that point where it's not the first thing he does in the morning, right? Um, he had some time where he didn't smoke, but he just said, there was a couple months ago, something was going on with his life, and he went back to it, but then quickly realized it made him cry. And why? Because it let him down. And then mentally started saying, okay, I can't get back into that same pattern. I got goals. I've got things that I want to achieve, right? Um, Filled in his schedule by going to the gym, by doing things that made him happy. Now, he looks forward to the weekends. If he's free, he might smoke a joint, like you said, with his dad having a cigar or whatever. You know, Eventually Adam might get to the point where he's planning to have a joint on the weekend, and then plans change and he can't. Is it going to bother him? He'll probably be just fine because he's got that willpower, right? And that's what I think we all are looking for, right? Is getting that willpower to break out of that routine, right? Um, a lot of people can't get out of that funk of first thing they want to do, and they don't even think about it. It's subconscious. Like, um,
true. Like,
it's baby steps. Baby steps. Starting with maybe not smoking till after 7 or 8 o'clock. You don't want to smoke too late because then you might be eating food till whatever night, munchies. But what I'm saying is if you can do it in steps and like then move it to the weekends and then try to fill your weekends so you don't even have time to do it, right? I think that's the baby steps that everybody has troubles with, and Adam seems to have a good grip on it. And
yeah, he
way to go,
does.
Adam. Adam, that's awesome.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
good
Thank
job.
you.
I do. And I know Frank wanted to touch on this story quickly,
Mhm.
or at least talk about how we came to opening Metamorphosis. Kind of, it kind of was like the right timing. Everything just kind of fell into place, but not really.
Yeah,
We
because
get
I
to
look
there.
personally, I look at me as more like um Frank, and I think Adam's more like Chris, and I think we're like the exact same people in a way. And in a way, I think like we all want like kind of the same kind of like good things for other people and like a good positive outlook. And I think I would more relate to Frank, and Chris is more with Adam. And I'm not saying that because I would love to be Chris, but it just didn't work that way.
So
Um,
honestly, for me, William, it was after I guess years of using and abusing my body and my friends and my relationship and my families. Um, I got to a point, and it wasn't by choice that I decided this. It was out of necessity. Um, I was in a place where I had no income coming in. And in my addict thinking, I thought, hey, I'm going to apply for OSAP and get some money so I can get more drugs. That's how it all started, really. And what I
just
did is
didn't
I
sell
applied for OSAP to go to school so that I can get money from OSAP, to have money in my hand. But my thinking was that. But what happened was OSAP paid the school directly. So I really didn't get much of the money. I had enough to live off of, but it wasn't much. So I decided to go to class. And I dropped out of high school at 16. Okay. Now I'm going back to a college class. And I thought, well, give it a shot, right? And I started listening, and everything they're talking about, all the essays and all the homework and all the assignments were about me. Who would have thought there would be a class about Frank? Right? Like, and I started all my essays, all my answers, all my questions were about me. And with my narcissistic thinking, oh, great, this is easy. I'm going to pass, right? And I did really well, and it was great. But I was still using drugs at that time, right? And I started understanding more about myself. And as I started understanding more about myself in this class, I started getting the confidence to take the steps to come off of it. And that's when I got onto methadone while I was in school. And while I was in school, I graduated, got on methadone, and I go out there with this piece of paper thinking I'm going to be a counselor and I'm going to save lives. Well, apparently the school's piece of paper isn't worth the paper it was written on. And I felt defeated. I felt cheated. I felt like I got this big debt now that was a scam. So it almost made me go backwards. But the teacher said, why don't you go to Ryerson University or go to university and take psychology, and get yourself your foot in the door. So I guess I was open to getting more OSAP money. So I decided to go to Ryerson as a mature student. And I went there and I got my BA in psychology, and it just kept rolling. I finally got a job at a treatment center called New Awakenings, and I was the overnight counselor. And I would work, and I was still going to school, so I would work um, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday during the day, and then go to school. I mean, Monday morning I would go to school back to Toronto. The school was in Port Perry. Okay, I wasn't driving. I didn't have a car. I would take the GO bus and then ride my bicycle from point A to point B. The the GO bus and the TTC and all those bus that gave me time to do my homework for school,
God
right?
damn.
So what I did at one point was I sat there and I go, what am I good at? What can I do with what I have? I'm a dropout. Now I'm back in school. I know a lot about drugs and the drug addiction, and I know all about it because I've been in treatment since I was 15. I know all about this stuff. So why don't I use this stuff to help benefit others so that the stuff that I went through isn't a waste of time? So I kept working, and then I got hired at another treatment center, and that was a treatment center called Freedom from Addictions. I worked there for 2 years, and that's when I met my ex-wife, and we had a baby. And the day my son was born, they laid me off. So I was bitter again, angry. I don't want to work in this field. I took a little break from the field, and I was away from it for about 6 months when I realized how much I miss the ability to change people's lives and help people. And not only that, in my own selfish way, working with people validated all the shit that I've been through because I went through it for a reason, to help others. If I wasn't doing this, then all the crap that I've been through is a waste of time. And that's why I keep doing what I
True.
do.
Whoa,
Okay?
that's true. Because I can learn off you in so many ways.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
that's my whole goal, right? Then I went to another treatment center, and then finally I ended up working at a place called Trafalgar Residence. And I worked there for about 5 years, I think it was. And I started working as a evening counselor. Then they gave me a position as the aftercare specialist, and I created an aftercare program. Then they put me on the phones to do their intakes and coordinations and stuff like that. And they had 2 locations. So I was working in management, and as I was working in management, I, I started to understand the costs of everything, what needs to run a place, and I created my own business plan.
What was good? Like,
I had all the information at the fingertips, right? And I learned a lot from working at this place as management, and I learned what the cost of the food would be. I learned, all their different types of things that they've done, right? And what kind of forms are needed, and all that stuff in the program. And I had everything as a business plan, and I was working there. Then this is where my brother comes in.
Mm.
Chris was working what? What were you doing?
Before we opened, I think for about 13 years or so, about 13 years before we opened, so I'd say about 17 years ago, I was working at a restaurant in Toronto. If you manifest it and you say you're going to do it and you're there every day and you're doing it, eventually you're going to be a pro at it and you're going to get there, right?
100%.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's just like the only thing that holds me back is like that initial addiction. Like honestly, the addiction, like just for viewers watching too, just get over addiction because it's that initial addiction that makes it so much harder than it can be. Like addiction's like freaking so tough, man. And like whatever it is, if it's addicted to like girls, if it's addicted to like weed, if it's addicted to alcohol, it's like all so addicting. Um, I'm getting over it. I'm glad we had this talk. I'm still working
Mm-hmm.
towards it. You know what I mean? Like it's giving me that extra like perspective and I'm getting better. Like after today being so nervous for this podcast, it made me realize how important it is to like not smoke. Cause like when I smoke, I don't shave, I don't brush my teeth sometimes.
Me and Adam were talking, and I just said to Adam, like he brought up how inspiring and what gives him that motivation is his dad. He's got somebody. He mentioned it, and I'm like, that's great because that's what motivates him, right? You got to find out what motivates William, right? What motivates you is something that you got to work on yourself, ask those questions, and figure that part out, right? Um, when Frank said that, he was going to work at some of these treatment centers and then had this business ideal, and then how I got into the picture was a few things. Like I said, about 18 years ago, I guess I was running a bar or whatever and started a poker game out of the bar just to keep some of the regulars there and whatnot. And from there, it just kind of went from running it once or twice a week. It became like 3 times a week. We ended up getting our own place, and pretty much that's what I did was run poker. And I was around people that had addiction. And their addiction, most of it was gambling, but there was other things going on there, and it was fine for me when I wasn't married and didn't have any kids. But you know, you get to a point, and I always wanted to have something that I was proud of. When I got kids, I wasn't proud of what I was doing, right? My son really motivated me, right? Now when I hear my kids talk about Metamorphosis and they wear our sweaters to their school and give our sweaters to their teachers for Christmas, and he's so damn proud about our place and sees our commercial, that is what motivates me, especially as sitting in with some of the clients and getting to talk to them one on one and making a relationship with some of them. Sometimes we don't get through to everyone, right? Those ones hurt. They hurt because we've done everything we could, but we couldn't get through to that person. They weren't ready, right? But back to me needing a change, I literally shut and closed down my poker room. Um, it was not something you want to can call a safe job as well, right? There's a lot of moving parts to those kind of things. So I basically shut it down and uh, didn't have a plan. Was sitting at home, was like calling my brother and said, "Hey, I think I'm gonna I'm going to buy a convenience store, park my ass in there. And he's like, are you crazy? Dad did that for his whole life. What a horrible thing to do. You're buying a $20 an hour job, and don't do it. Please don't do it. And then he came over one day and threw this business plan in front of me. And it was so inspiring. I needed a change. My wife, Stephanie, went through addiction where Frank got her into a place when we first got married for alcohol, and she hasn't looked back. And she's been, I guess, clean for over 10 years now. And not even a sip of alcohol. Okay. She can be around people that drink it until they get really stupid, and then it's time for us to leave, kind of thing. But I owe that to my brother for helping save that soul of my wife. She needed help, and he was able to help her. So from that point on, I kind of knew I had to change my life and what I was doing, because when your partner changes and is doing so well, you start to look at yourself. Even though I was providing for my family, I felt like it was not something I can keep doing. So I said to my brother, and he threw out this business idea, and it was just going through COVID. And I literally put my house up for sale the next day, and we moved out. I didn't even sell the house. I found a place up here to rent, and I wanted to be out of there as fast as I could so I could get my life going. I wanted to do this, and next week I wanted to be open, right? And that's what drove us to open up Metamorphosis, in a sense.
You got to look
That's
at it like when
cool.
we first opened. We had no idea we were going to have customers. We had no idea how we were going to get customers. There are clients coming in. I had a plan, a bit of a plan, but it wasn't like a guarantee, right?
Yeah,
And it was
that's
scary.
nice.
And there was a lot of pressure because my brother sold his house and he's putting his money now. I feel like I got to make this succeed. I got to make it work. Not only is it me, now it's my brother's livelihood, because that's the way I felt.
Yeah,
So one thing I did do was, when we hired people, I put their pay 2 weeks behind, held it. So now I got a month before the first payroll. And the first week we opened, we gave everybody, whoever came in, 50% off, and some people free. But for the first week, we had one person. So I had, remember Adam, the maintenance guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had him pretend he was a client.
First,
I had another staff member pretend they were clients.
just to make the other clients feel a little bit more
Comfortable.
comfortable. And she found out after and said, guys, you don't need to do that. I like the attention. Right? So that was the beginning, I guess, right?
Yeah, and then it just snowballed from there. And
We added services, detox.
now we have detox there.
Now we have laptops for each client.
Oh, wow.
And
no
the
way.
whole program is, it's on a laptop. And so when you're done, you got a memory stick, and the whole program's on, and all your work is on that stick now. So you don't have to
Cool.
carry a big book, right?
That's
That's
sick.
awesome.
Saves paper, but
We added a VIP program, which is a virtual online program. We have our aftercare that's still going strong. And, we've added a lot of different services. The massage is still there, acupuncture, the what should we call it? Reiki.
the
Personal trainer comes in on the weekends. We added a lot of little services, right? And
100%. And
now
That's
we're working with some native reserves up north. They're sending us some people too. So, we're doing a lot, and the brand itself has built itself to a good point, and we're working really hard. And every day I enjoy going to work because it's a new adventure. When you have 22 souls to worry about, and they all have different personalities.
Hmm.
It's a challenge.
For sure.
It
For
is.
True.
sure.
Damn.
It's really
That's
challenging,
true.
right?
Having different souls and like different, but that like keeps you out of your own like mind too. Like that's nice. Like to, but then you also have to bring your own experience like to that person and like, wow, that's actually really cool though. Like it is.
And one thing that separates us from a lot of other treatment centers is a lot of treatment centers look for reasons to kick people out, right? I believe that, yes, people are coming because, number one, they have issues, they're sick, they need help. So if they make a mistake, that's part of it, bro. They need that. And I give the leniency a lot, right? And sometimes my staff gets on my case going, why are you not kicking them out yet? Yeah, why not? And I'm like, because. And we go that extra mile. And it seems like sometimes, a lot of times, the ones that we go that extra mile are the ones that really appreciate it in the end, because their whole lives they've been looked at as a side note or a nothing. And here we are giving them the attention and the care that they deserve.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it 100%. And a lot of people might say like, oh, is it like a vacation place? Because I remember when I was there, puncture, personal trainers. It's like those little things are there to remind people that there's good things in life, and like that also is what motivated me. It's like these are all good things, and it's like doesn't have to be just so bad all the time, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I love how you're doing that, because it opens a lot of people's minds.
It opens the door for other things, and it makes them feel human again too. Going to the
Yeah.
barber shop, getting a nice warm towel shave, hot towel shave.
That was the best.
Yeah, it made you feel, a little bit of self-care goes a long way, and it lets you feel like you're not being judged, number one, that, what, you are human and you deserve this,
100%.
right? We make mistakes. We all do.
Yeah.
But if I didn't go for that OSAP loan, we wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
Holy, that's true.
By the
Damn.
way, I think you're still paying that whole
I still owe that OSAP loan.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
You guys are doing a very good job. That's all I'll say. I've been.
You got to come and visit, man.
I
So
will. I will be down.
that's what I'm getting to. Like, I'm gonna come visit with Bill. Like, me and Bill are gonna come visit ASAP because we want to talk to you, obviously, in person and stuff. But then Adam, he'll come down soon and we can all come visit. But thank you so freaking much, guys, because that was like an amazing podcast. Like, I was super nervous before, and then just diving into that, feeling really comfortable. And if you guys just want to like say if you want, up to you, but where you guys are located.
I want to say first, come and visit so you guys can have some of Teresina's great cooking.
Oh yes, for sure.
Okay.
I miss those meals.
So we're located in Wasaga Beach, 135 32nd Street North. Our phone number is 14. Yeah, and the website is metamorphosiscenter.com.
And center spelt with an R-E.
Yeah, so if you guys search up Metamorphosis Center for rehab in Wasaga Beach, you guys will see that. Amazing experience for me and Adam. Who knows? We might be back, but no. But we'll be definitely like working on like all this. But thank you guys so much for like listening to this podcast. Thank you, Frank, of course, and Chris, of course, for coming on to my podcast. Like, and Adam, of course, makes me feel so freaking good. Thank you guys.
Thanks
But
for
I
having
said,
us.
yeah, no problem. You guys freaking deserve it, honestly. So that'll be interesting to see what they have to say, like the fans and everyone else, about this podcast. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I think that's it, unless you guys have any last words. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thanks.
guys.
Nice seeing you, Adam, and nice chatting with you, Will.
Thanks,
Take care,
Chris.
guys.
Okay.
Great seeing you guys, and hopefully, like, we can meet for like a dinner or something pretty soon. Us four.
Absolutely.
Anytime, man.
Okay,
For
sweet.
Door's
sure.
always
Thanks,
open.
boys.
Good night.
Good night,
Have a good
guys.
night, guys.
I'm just very thankful I was put in Metamorphosis.
I remember walking through the door, not knowing what to expect. There is hope for a better life.
Metamorphosis really helped my mom. If she didn't come here, I don't know what would have happened to her. I might not even have a mom.